You know, with all the storylines around the Serie this season, from Sassuolo, a once comfortable team in the Serie, now struggling and toying with relegation, to the dramatic and drastic fall of last year's champions Napoli, who now sit 9th in the table, 9 points off Champions League spots, to even Juventus' sudden and drastic revival from being an embarrassing team last season, finishing 7th, to being 2nd in the table. With all of that going on, I want to focus on the league leaders, Inter Milan. Inter have lost just one game in 24 played in the league. Inter Milan have scored 59 goals and conceded just 12. Inter Milan are now sitting 9 points ahead of second place Juventus, and bar any huge turn of fortune for Inter, they look set to get their second Serie A title in 4 years. But what has made them so good this season? Why have Inter dominated Italy the way they have this season? Well, that's what we will be talking about today. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Back of the Net here. I hope you guys are all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, last season, Inter Milan were in the league anyway, unimpressive. Not horrible, but not great, just unimpressive. It was a pretty average season for Inter Milan, finishing 3rd in the Serie a whole 18 points behind champions Napoli. It was position-wise Inter Milan's worst season since finishing 4th in the 18-19 season, but again, they weren't all that bad. I mean, they made an awesome run going to the Champions League final, only narrowly missing out on the trophy thanks to the God squad that is Man City. But how have Inter Milan dominated Italy? How have Inter looked absolutely breathtaking this season? And how have they taken over the Serie A? Well, I think one of the big factors is surprisingly actually off the field, and that is the fact that Inter Milan have actually managed to drastically improve their financial situation at the club. Now, without going into heavy numbers and technicalities, Inter have done a combination of increasing their revenue while cost cutting. Revenue wise, Inter have had a boost from stadium revenue due to no pandemic. They received TV rights money from UEFA, a large upgrade. Their main sponsor is now paying more, and cost cutting wise, they have reduced needless expenses and a whole bunch of other financial stuff like converting credit into equity and what have you. So having a more financially stable club allows them to be more active in the market and run far more efficiently and more effectively on and off the field. So there's the off-field stuff. Now going on to stuff I like talking about, and I'm sure you guys like listening about, the on-field things, the changes that Inter have made on the field. Well, they went through a drastic overhaul in the summer with a total of, get this, 42 players leaving this summer alone, either through contracts expiring, selling them, or sending them on a loan. Now, yes, majority of those players were young players going on a loan, but it was still kind of bizarre to me at the time just how many outgoings Inter allowed to happen, considering they were coming off a great Champions League run where they fell just short. And with a lot of crucial players leaving, like Andre Onana, believe it or not, he was actually a good keeper at Inter Milan, Edin Dzeko, Milan Skriniar, Brozovic, and so on, it was a little bit concerning from the outside looking in. And yes, they did bring in 14 players as well, but a lot of those transfers were at the time kind of underwhelming, and yeah, it just didn't really make me turn my head all that much. But just to show how much of a casual I am, a lot of those transfers that I wasn't really impressed with are already proven to be an absolute masterstroke by Inter Milan. Jan Sommer from Bayern for just 6 million euros has been really impressive. Even a big money signing in Benjamin Pavard for 30 million euros from Bayern Munich has been outstanding. But by far the best signing of the summer, I'm sure this will be no surprise to you if you've watched any Inter games, is Marcus Thuram from Borussia Mönchengladbach, who is just now 26 years old. Thuram has already scored 12 goals in all competitions for Inter. He's got 7 assists in the league alone. And how much did he cost Inter, you might ask? Well, he was free. Yep, a free transfer has been by far and away Inter's best signing and arguably Inter's best player through the season. Inter has done some really good scouting and overall just really good business in the summer, and it's paying off drastically. And it has been a key reason why they have proven to be as good as they have. Really good signings, they knew who to let go, when to let them go, and they knew who to bring in, and they did really good business on bringing them for as low as a price as they could get. I mean, Simeone Inzaghi's men play a really nice style of football. Usually in a 3-5-2, they have proven extremely effective defensively and offensively, being able to control games, dictate tempo, and just torch teams. If you look at the stats, Inter have considerably the most goals per match in the Serie A with 2.5. They have the least amount of goals conceded. They have the most clean sheets, by far the highest XG, most big chances, chances, most touches in opposition box, second last in XG conceded. I mean, I can go on. Statistically, Inter Milan are checking all the boxes of a Serie A champion and statistically are looking like an elite team. And if you don't want to take stats into consideration and you just want to watch Inter Milan, off the eye test, they are incredibly impressive and entertaining to watch. They don't often make individual errors. They look so comfortable in all aspects of the game, whether that be controlling the game and the ball, whether that be sitting in a low block and counter-attacking, whether that be set pieces, what have you. Inter Milan look very dominant in every aspect of the game this season, in the Serie A at least. And if you look at who they beat this season, they have been able to beat big teams in huge matches, like their recent 1-0 win over second place Juventus that basically in my eyes sealed the title for Inter. But again, the only knocking point I can give Inter is that they haven't been great in the Champions League. They were kind of in a favorable group, but they walk away second in the group with only 3 wins and 3 draws. Yes, they are undefeated, but they should have been winning that group quite comfortably. I know Sociedad is a good team, but as good as Inter have been in the Serie A, they need to be better in the Champions League. And what better time to prove it than now in the round of 16 against none other than Atletico Madrid. Simeone Inzaghi's men are going up against Diego Simeone's men, and that's going to be a tough ask for them. I do think Inter Milan are going to get through the tie, but it's going to be really tough, and it's going to test Inter Milan's mettle and grit, which should be very, very fascinating to watch as a neutral. But I think if they are able to get past Inter, they genuinely have all the capabilities statistically and off the eye test to be a dark horse again in the Champions League, make another deep run to the Champions League. I don't think they're going to win it. I think even if everything goes right for them, I don't think they have enough firepower to win it. I think as long as Real Madrid and Man City are in the competition, it's going to be very difficult for Inter to get the win. But I have a funny feeling that Inter is either going to flunk against Atletico, or they might just go on and make a deep run in the Champions League just like last season. I mean, as of right now, in my opinion, they are by far one of the most impressive teams, not just in Italy but around world football. They have a clinical attack, one of the best defenses in the world, and are a surefire bet in my eyes to win the Serie A this season. But yeah guys, that's the video. Let me know in the comments below, do you think Inter Milan can make a deep run in the Champions League? Will Inter Milan win the Serie A? Let me know in the comments below. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.